It was only really in the autumn term last year when we almost hit crisis point. Vaughan Primary School, 3-form entry, community maintained school here in West Harrow. We've got over, 658 pupils on roll and a staff team of around 88. Tech was regularly failing, leading to very discontented workforce. Effectively, our teachers were literally having to go back to pen and paper, which was incredibly frustrating.
Last November, Kirsten reached out to me because the IT support that we were delivering to the school wasn't having the desired impact. Fundamentally, the systems that had been installed by a previous company weren't working and on a day-to-day basis were impacting teaching and learning, to the point that actually the IT in the school was non-existent.
It wasn't a great system. They had some Windows 7 machines and they had some Windows 10 machines. Loads of tickets that we could fix them, but only temporarily. They would come back constantly.
James came to speak to me because he said actually they're at a critical point where they needed a dramatic change. In general, the school was mostly using Microsoft solutions. So that's when we started to look at, do we just need to change the staff devices, the student devices, etc. It was a case of really looking about what was available at this point in time. We found that Microsoft Surface SE devices for pupils had just been released.
So if you look at what Microsoft as a company is trying to do, it's trying to empower every person and every organisation on the planet to achieve more. And when you look at education, what we're trying to do is empower every student, teacher in every university, college or school to achieve more. Learning outcomes is what technology should be there to drive. What a lot of schools are now doing is driving a cloud-based environment and taking advantage of all of that suite of products in Microsoft 365 in a school environment. But of course, what's important as well is the device. And what we've done as a result at Microsoft is produce the new Surface Laptop SE. The Vaughan Primary School, which we've been working with Kinsero, is the first deployment of the Surface Laptop SE in the UK. We're very pleased to work with both the school and Kinsero to put together this solution to really drive those learning outcomes.
So in January, I brought Brad in to talk to Kirsten about what was possible, what they could do as a school and how they could go about it. Kirsten was interested in that, and so then we brought in Tracy.
So I think one of the key points was that it wasn't just we supplied a device. So we supplied a travel hub, a Surface travel hub, so they could connect it at home, and likewise we put a docking station on the teacher's desk so they could just plug the cable in. It was one cable, and then away they can go.
And Tracy priced everything up, reached out to the vendors to make sure we could get the best possible pricing.
The procurement support and sourcing, as well as a number of financing options, has been incredibly helpful.
It's easy for some SPs if the school just wants to upgrade their laptops. But this was, we want to look at the platform, we want to look at the end user devices. So everything that we're doing, every product, every solution, is then considering how do we put it into this central solution of it being cloud-based, but also, and this is going to be the biggest thing, a single identity. So every user only has to sign into one application with one set of credentials.
My role was back here at base and was all about setting up the services online for the staff and students. Using Intune to control these devices and manage these devices has meant that we're able to roll out settings to the students and the staff to make sure that they get the best experience possible whenever they log on.
There's a lot of schools moving to the cloud, but there are a lot of legacy systems out there, and sometimes that transition is quite hard. Using Azure Virtual Desktop to host the application in the cloud, and specifically on this one, it's the Sims environment. There's a very elegant solution that's been put together with Vaughan and Kinsero to cloud enable that application as well to make it simple, secure, but not having necessarily servers on site.
We hit a challenge with the local authority SIM support team. They were fearful that they wouldn't be able to support the school. So we did some training with them. We worked actually with the vendor of Sims who gave the green light and the thumbs up to the solution to make sure it was safe, secure and compliant. Because the solution was now in the school's 365 tenancy, they were able to leverage the native MFA solution built in. So again, single sign-on, all secure, all compliant.
The change management aspect is quite important. It's all very well having shiny new kit, but if people don't know all the features or the functionality, they couldn't necessarily adapt that into their teaching and learning practice.
What's really important about the Vaughan Primary example is the fact that they're working with Consero, one of our gold certified partners, and having them as a trusted advisor to bring in other parts of the solution. So Tablet Academy to help with the training for the teachers.
I was there to provide kind of the hand-holding effectively, so that they could take their device and start to use it. People are now confident with using their devices and are coming back with different questions about how they can extend their use. It works best when you have partners working well together to make sure that the school are able to make those steps forward.
The partnership with Tablet Academy has also been quite instrumental to make sure that actually the project was a success.
Really good, really easy to use, that was the main thing.
I can invite all of them onto one whiteboard and then we can just all do the work together and we'll get it done a lot quicker.
It makes you feel nice because you just have like your own sense of responsibility. With pencil, you rub it out but it's still there, but you can just press a button on our computer and it can just go.
Yeah, I'm not like more like, oh yes, English, or I'm just like, yes, we get to use their laptops.
If I had to ask you to describe that in a word, what would you say?
Way better.
That's 2. Accessible, easy, stress-free mainly.
We learn how to invite each other. It makes learning fun. It is really good though. That's it.
He just loves it.
Yeah.
So before I wouldn't have based a whole lesson around laptops or being able to use laptops, whereas now I feel much more confident. I'm not worried that I'm going to have to suddenly plan something at the last minute. I know that whatever I've intended to do is actually going to work.
So yeah, it has been a breath of fresh air.
So when a teacher walks into a classroom and hits the light switch, there's an expectation that the lights will work. And that's exactly how we want it to be with technology in schools. For too many years, I feel that we've focused on the boxes and the wires, the technical specifications, the broadband and infrastructure, and not the really cool stuff that makes a positive impact to teaching and learning.
Learning outcomes isn't just about, the qualification. It's about the skills they develop in order to get jobs. And we think technology's got a huge part to play in that.
What I love about this project is how everybody worked together. The whole Consero team, along with people such as Tablet Academy, Senso, LGFL and Microsoft, to make sure that it was a success for the school and that teachers, when they walk into Vaughan Primary School, can just expect that the technology works.